Good morning, everybody. Headed up to town this morning. Got to go to the post office. I got quite a bit of stuff to mail out. And update on Ricky Jr. He is still in the hospital, and he's been in ICU since he's been there because they have to monitor him very closely. He sent a message a little while ago. He's able to sit up, eat a little bit. They're going to take him, put him in a room, they think, sometime today. I think keep him another day. They still hadn't pinpointed exactly what the thing was. It may not have been a reaction to the new meds. Well, that's probably part of it, but something else is going on they got to try to figure out. But they're doing all that. He's at a good hospital, so they're taking care of him. Somebody asked me, no, he's not missing any work. This is spring break week for school system here. So he was off this week anyway. Bad way to spend your break off, your week off, but and he is very, very well insured. I got good insurance, that's what I'm trying to say. His wife's up there with him. She won't leave. Good on her. Good girl. He don't want anybody else up there staring at him, so hopefully everything we'll find out a lot more today, and maybe he'll get to come home soon. Which brings me to, I never did get to talk to him about doing the auction thing, so maybe tonight I might do something a little different. We'll just do it a different way. And besides the post office, I'm actually going to get started on the boat this morning. The first thing I'm going to do that I forgot all about, neglected to do, was to take that and get it titled in my name. I've had it. I just haven't went to the courthouse and done it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that first. And knowing my luck, I'll do a bunch of work to it, and then if there's a problem, then I'm stuck. So I'm going to do that before I go to the post office, and we'll do that right now. And I'll get back and piddle with it a little bit, maybe. Depends on what goes on up there. I don't foresee having to go back up there or go up there, but if I have to, I'm ready to go. So, a lot of stuff to do today. And here we go again with my little brain. My little hamster's running like crazy up there. So let me pay attention to the road. This is our heavy East Milton traffic here. And I will be back a little later on today. Boat title and registration and permit sticker and all that jazz complete. No problems. Now I feel a lot better. And it wasn't bad, it was only $50. So that's not bad at all. It looks like it's gonna rain, don't it? Alright, to the post office we go. Tag on that van says Navy retired. I don't think I'd tell anybody. Alright, let's go down. National Horn Blowing Day or something. I've heard more people blow the horn the last 30 minutes. Alright, town supplies are got. Town business is done for this week. Well, no, gotta go back to the post office in a day or two. That's okay. Now, let's go see if we can get into a little bit of working on the boat. Looks like we're gonna have a good day for it. Alright, back at the house. The humidity has dropped. It is very cool and comfortable out here. And I just heard it's gonna be 49 tonight. So we had the AC on last night, and we have the heat on tonight, I guess. Now, I'm not going to take this motor off today. I'm going to wait till somebody's here with me. But I am going to spray all the bolts with that, because I don't want to break nothing, because I might have to reuse something. And for now, I may go with my 25 I have. I'm telling y'all, this thing is super light until I can get up there and get them other ones. Should be some down here somewhere where I can't see them. You aggravating. Two more down underneath. I'm not crawling around in there right now. Those are stainless bolts though, so they should come on out pretty easy. That steering control is the one I was worried about. Now I'm going to get the shock vac out, take the filter out, and get this water out of here and see if I can't unplug that drain. And I'm going to take these seats out right quick, because they are not proper seats to go in there anyway. I will save them though, they might be able to be used for something. And I might even see if I can get this console out. I don't believe it's being held on there by much. Alright, I'll show you all what it looks like in a little while. Well, I got the console loose. Would you look at that menagerie of stuff there? I don't think I've ever seen that many wires up under a dashboard. I don't think that radio works anymore. Now I'm betting you most of the stuff under here I don't need. I'm not going to use. The switches on the dash are already to the point where you can't tell what's what. All I need is a live well switch and lights on the dash. I don't need a radio, I don't need a speedometer, I don't need a tachometer, I don't need all that stuff. Well, I have to have a horn by law. But I may get me a air horn. So the main thing I got to get unhooked is the steering control. I will need that. That steering wheel says made in Italy. Italian. So I'm guessing I'll just take them 4 bolts off them clamps there and maybe it'll come off of there. And I'm starting unplugging wires. See if I can get it all the way out. Get this carpet out of here. This old rotten wood out. Somebody did a very, very, very poor job of fitting in there. But it was theirs when they did it, so I got the seats out. Now under the seats, they're trashed. All dry rotted. When I get new seats, I will probably elongate these holes a little bit. So I got some storage underneath, like life jackets and stuff like that. And I got the live well cleaned out. I think I got the lines cleared. That vacuum cleaner pulls stuff out of there pretty good out of the drain hole. Now once I get everything out that I want out, get that motor off. If I don't have one, I'll have to go get a tarp. I'm going to get me a tarp for my other boat, because I can't afford to build a shelter right now for both of them. So I'll get the old boat out and tarp it and cover it real good, and it'll still be ready to use for now. And I'll pull this one under the shelter once I get all this 25,000 leaves out of here. Alright, I'll get on with it. Alright y'all, let's wrap it up for today. That weather front is getting closer. The temperature is dropped. It's into the 50s. The wind is blowing. and it's getting cold. So I'm gonna have to go in the house. Let me show you what I got done today in just a couple hours. Well, probably about 3.5, 4 hours. Got everything out. Vacuum most of the leaves out. There's still more leaves. That's gonna have to be just keep on vacuuming. I'll get them all out eventually. Now, I mentioned before that I might elongate these where I could store more in there. See over there, there's a wall there, and there's a wall right there. And this is also full of flotation foam like this. So I don't want to bother that. I want to leave that there. Now I have some real thin gauge stainless steel. I can make me a little box of some kind to sit there and store maybe life jackets or something. They'll fit in there. So I'll just leave this just like it is, because that's part of the structure, you know, the strength and all that kind of stuff. I've discovered a bunch of things on here. Got the old carpet out, most of it, except for a little bit right around the controls there, which those controls will go away anyway. Where the live well come in, I did get it cleaned out, got it cleared, where water will run out of there. This one has been fixed with silicone, which is not the proper way to do it, but this will have to be replaced. The hose, the drain hose, and the inlet hoses, and all that looks good, so that's a plus. And also the live well is supposed to have a tube up there where it'll hold water. That'll have to be replaced. But that's items off the shelf at Walmart. You can get that stuff fairly easy. Let's see, back here I got the leaves cleaned out. It does have a bilge pump and a live well pump in it. No idea if they work or not. I'll test them first. I'm not going to test the live well pump. I mean the bilge pump. I'll just go ahead and replace that, because a good bilge pump will get your butt out of trouble at times if you need it. If you take a wave over or something happens or whatever. But I've decided I'm going to rewire the whole thing, because I showed you all that console. That, you talk about a mess. I would never figure out what wire goes where. Some of them was plugged in. I just unplugged them, and steering control is fine. It works good. So we'll deal with that one, whichever motor I get put on there. But up here, I was gonna use these for storage, but I probably won't. Probably just put a solid deck like it's supposed to be, because this flotation foam up here, I don't understand why they didn't put it all the way up in here, but I can add some to it. That's not a big deal. This front live well, the drain is clear, it drains good. The inlet on that one looks good. It looks okay. Because what I'll do, I'll use one for a live well and one for a bait well. One for live bait and one for fish, more than likely. All this here is trolling motor plug, lights plug, accessory plug. I think I can salvage that. Of course, I'll put new wires in there, because my bow light goes there. That'll have to be replaced, I'm sure. Trolling motor will go here somewhere. So it's got a lot of cleaning to do. Where I pulled the old carpet off, the old glue is there. I'm gonna have to scrape off most of that. Now I keep telling y'all how light this thing is. Let me show you right quick. One hand. That's trailer weight and everything. So I guarantee you, the old boat, you can't do that. It takes two hands. Man, that wind is kicking. It takes two hands and both feet to lift that thing. But of what I'm seeing in the bottom and the hull, everything looks good to me. I don't see anything out of place. Everything looks to be tight and good. Took that old piece of plywood out. It was treated plywood anyway, so it wasn't rotten, but I'm going to put new in there anyway. So there we go. There is the first step on the boat project. Now once I get that old motor off, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the boat off the trailer, turn it upside down, and I'll work on the hull, and I'll show you all that as I get to it. And while it's off the trailer needs a little bit more work. You know, when I got it, I had to buy a new axle, tires, and all that. Let's see if we can get down here and see while I'm doing and while I got it off. The boards, the running boards, which are just 2x4s. I'm going to replace those and replace the carpet. And the clamps holding them on there are really, really rusty looking. And those are about $2 a piece. So I'll go ahead and replace those. Might as well while it's, you know, available, you know, while it's easy to get to. The springs on the trailer are, they look a little iffy to me. I will probably go ahead and replace the springs. It's a very easy job to do. Now they got them at the trailer shop. I don't know how much they are, but they can't be all that much, I hope. And I will install that axle properly. It's mounted on the bottom right now. We did that just to get it home, just to get it out of his way. And then I'll, you know, put the axle back on the right way. And all this stuff's got to come off, and that comes off with the motor. And like I said, I'll wait till I get somebody over here to help me. I'll see if I can't rouse Master Sergeant up to come help me. I can get it off. I just need somebody standing by to call 911 if I drop it on myself. So. But I've got to come along in a great big old oak tree limb, and I can get it off of there. And too, like I said, all this wires, all this, look at that. That's just for what I need and the way I'm going to set it up. I don't need all that. All that's going to come out. And I would feel much better with new wiring. The trolling motor battery. I might even put a battery up front just for that. It's got a spot back here for 2 batteries, or I may do it back here with a switch. But I want 2 trolling motor batteries and a cranking battery. I don't want just one trolling motor battery. I can run one down in half a day, and a little switch deal, you know, and switch it and go all day long if I want to. Now that's an access plate to get into the controls, which I'll work on that. Somebody cut this out to get to pardon me, to get to the wires for the controls, which most of that'll go away. I have no idea what this hole was for, but I can cover that. As far as a fish finder, dang, excuse me, I don't need the side sonar and all that kind of stuff. As long as I'm on my rivers that I'm familiar with, I don't need a fish finder at all. I mean, for depths and all that, I know pretty much where to fish. But if I go somewhere else, I'd like to have one. And I've got my old Humminbird on the old boat. If nothing else, I'll put it on here if I can't find one reasonable. You know, just all I want is depth, water depth, and that's about it. I don't even care about water temperature, because I can get a $10 Minn Kota temperature gauge and drop over, and works just fine. So that's all of the boat working for today. It'll be a couple of days before I get back on it. I think I mentioned earlier I've got to get a big tarp so I can cover my old boat and get it out from under the shelter and get this one under there. Because this flotation foam is wet, especially in the back, but it will dry out and it'll be just fine. But I got to get it out of the weather. That's the old transducer cable that was on the thing. And I did find out that the console, the bottom part, is aluminum. It's not fiberglass. Well, that's very good. I'm happy to see that. And I will rebuild this whole thing like I want it when I get to that point. Now, it's still a long ways off from being in the water, but I've got a good start. And just little things like this, where the old transducer cable was, somebody has put silicone all over here, so that tells me it was leaking. I'll have to redo all that little stuff. The little details take more time than the big things. See, there's a hole right there. That's where that transducer cable was fastened down. Just stuff like that's got to be fixed. But at least I'm started. Now, upcoming work. Tomorrow I'll be back in the shop. I've got 2 bait knives almost done. Paul's throwing knife is almost done. I'll get all that finished up tomorrow. I picked up another order this morning. I got another order yesterday. So I've got 3 or 4 more to make within the next week or so. And I will get them done. And I'll show them to you when I get there. And update on Ricky Jr. They took him off of all the drip stuff, drip insulins and all that. They finally let him have something to eat. He sent me a picture of a pretty good looking plate of food, like broccoli and rice and a chicken fried steak. And for hospital food, it looked pretty good to me. So and they should move him out of ICU today, as long as all his numbers look okay. And they'll put him in a regular room. They're going to keep him at least 1 more day. But he is doing much better. And that's one reason I've got to be doing something. I've got to be busy. I'm worried to death about him, so but I know it'll be okay. Anyway, it's almost cold enough for a jacket, so that means it's time to go in the house. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your support. And if y'all don't mind my runny nose, I will see you later.